All right. Maybe you thought the tools are boring. You don't like to deal with that kind of crap. Let's just show me the games. So let's take you through what I have here. So I've been collecting for, I think I bought my first game. I've been playing for a while, but I finally owned my first game in '98. Um, and I have people over. I like to have a variety of games, a mix even. So over time, I've diversified a bit. I've actually sold a lot of the classic stuff I had, but still a little bit of a mix. So let's get a look here. So the first one here is Centaur 2. This is actually, these two games are actually here on a loaner from a friend. I was giving them some TLC, updating them, cleaning them up. So Centaur 2, it's basically the same thing as Centaur 1, just a different cabinet. This game's a classic. For anyone that does not have the advantage of owning one of these games in the past, it's pretty cool. It actually has an attract mode where it'll actually play itself a little bit. So don't get freaked out if the game starts, wigging out and you're like, oh, what's going on? Love that game. Really nice example. LED, got the Alltech boards in there, so the LEDs look nice. Future Spa, classic Bally, solid state. Was going to try to do a backlash restore on this game, but I'm just not motivated myself to do it. Pretty solid example. Another game that we've kept alive, kept here local. Stern Pirates. Why have this Pirates when Jersey Jack is out there now? This game actually has Johnny Depp in it. And you played this game on location, but when you played it here local, you can actually hear all the sounds. It's actually a really great game in terms of the sound, the movie cuts and things like that. It's a fun game. People like it. It does really well on location. This is a nice example I bought off a guy in PA. Tastefully done. I like the tilt topper. It's nice. Color DMD, LED'd. It's actually, this is not the one. I've got to do rubber on this game yet. I actually had two of these and I kept the nicer one. But the other one had silicone on the playfield. This one still has to do it. But getting back to the doing all the rubber in the Mixmaster or the Tortuga, what a pain in the butt. So haven't motivated myself to do it on this one. Hopefully you guys recognize this game. TNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, brand new. Good game. I like playing it. It's some of the drains are annoyingly frustrating on it, but it's a good game. Actually, ironically, my wife, who does not play pinball, has been playing this game more since we brought it down here than any game I've ever owned in the last 25 years. So God of War, great Gottlieb. This one, like I said, is actually a project right now. Been trying to repaint the playfield here. This one actually came out a little darker, but actually that one's completely repainted. It looks pretty good for a color match. All the pop bumpers didn't have Mylar around them, so of course they got stripped to death. So I've been trying to clean that up, get this project done. It's been sitting here forever. I've just been procrastinating. But some mess from last night. I was actually just painting last night. Probably my favorite title, Iron Maiden. This is a premium. It's done up with some mods. You can see the alternate translate, which I love. This game's actually got pin stadiums on them, which I'm not a super fan of, but actually on this game I like the rainbow effect that it gives on the ramps. Fits the Egyptian theme, I think. So that's why I actually have them on this game. This one's tastefully done, I think. Perfect game. Player's game. Such a worthy addition to any collection, even if you don't like the band, and I do. Batman, this is one that I wasn't actually seeking. When it first came out, I wasn't a super fan of it, but it's grown on me since Lyman's done his work on the code. This game is a challenge. When scores balloon like crazy, but when you do it, you feel great. This again, pin stadiums on this one, but this one's mostly stock. I did actually put the atomic pile on there. I built the spotlight for this one. Took that off, the Hallmark or whatever kit that was out there from ages ago. I like it. What do I have for my card? The Duel of Death. So are the games. AC/DC. This is a favorite of mine. Actually bought this one new in box. I just had to have it when we were playing it out on location. The Pro came out first at Papa. Hated it. Premium came out. It was the tits. So this one's pretty modded. You know, the back alley creations kind of stuff on it. I got the hooked flashers, some extra signs and whatnot. The cannon, which I know some people are hate on. It's a worthy mod. I love it. This game has been kept up really nice. Some people have gone to MagFest over the years. You've gotten the chance to play this game. It's killer. Tron. This was a long time game. I won it, and finally in the last year and a half, 2 years, I finally gotten a chance to own one. Actually, I've owned two now. And made this one into Ultratron. This is the best of the game Trons I had. So the other one had the mirror with the art blades, which I like better, but this cabinet is actually the decaled cabinet, which looks nice, and so I kept this one. All the classic mods that you would expect in Tron. Another one I think is done up very tastily. Do have the chrome bats on there, which I'm not super decided on, but it's what it is right now. Hook pop bumper tops are really nice. Eli kit, the Flynn sign, all those things are used to. Next on the line was Lord of the Rings. This game is one that when it was new, out on location, I'd play it at the beach, and you know, at this time, people didn't buy games new very often, and it was new out in the field that summer, and I just had to have one. So I got home and I immediately went on Mr. Pinball at the time, and found one somebody had bought new, and after about a month just decided pinball wasn't for them. So I got lucky and bought basically a brand new game, you know, a couple hundred plays maybe, and was able to buy it back before people paid way too much for games. So I'm lucky. This game's basically perfect. It's been, you know, tastefully modified. This has got LEDs and an OCD LED in it, and I think it's done pretty well. Coin taker retro bulbs, which are my preference for natural lighting. Some color matching in there, but not much. Next is Elvira. This is my latest project I just finished up. This was actually a game a family member had had since the since the 90s, and they finally are ready to move out of their house and downsize. So after begging for years to get this game from them, finally was able to buy it off them. It was your classic example of a game that was you know, sold to the home. As you know, people bought games off location, cleaned them up a bit, and put them in homes. So it's not perfect, but it's a pretty good survivor. Do things like mylar and clean up all around the arches or underneath, so it's easier to clean, or keep clean I should say, and not have to take it apart as much. This one's a little difficult with access, but not too bad. But it's a fun game. System 11, glad to have one finally in my collection. And Twilight Zone. This is actually where it all started. This is actually the very first game I ever bought. Was out looking for an Indiana Jones, and Randy Parrish, who's a local here who would refurb and sell games, he didn't have a Twilight or an Indiana Jones at the time, but he had this game, and he kind of talked me into giving this a shot. And I knew about the game, but I was really out for an indie at the time. But what are we on? 20 plus years later, this game has been a tank for me. So little has ever gone wrong with this game. It's got a different clock face in it right now. I was helping a guy test different designs that he was making. Haven't put it back. This game a little while back, I did what I just call a super shop job on, where I basically took the whole thing down, polished the playfield. The playfield, people ask if it's clear coated and stuff. It's kind of hard to see in the video, but this is actually factory Mylar that it had been hazy forever, and I went through and did all the different sanding and polishing, and it really got this playfield looking great. And now it's got some tasteful mods, like, you know, clear pop bumper bodies, color matched. You know, this slot machine, which I haven't seen people do in a long time with the color LED, but that was a popular one back in the day. Of course, the gumball changes and things like that, and it's a shame you really can't get these anymore. The guy who made the switch replacements on the mini playfield, I really like that. That was inexpensive for what it is, but I like the effect it gave. This game, like I said, I've had it since '98. It's awesome. This is actually the CPR mirrored back glass in it too, not the Translite. Recent edition, color DMD in it. Love it. So, very first game. I don't know if I'll ever sell it. I do have decals to actually redo the cabinet, which I've debated on doing. This side's a little faded. You can see it's got some fade. It's not horrible, but it's definitely there. So maybe that'll be the next large-scale cabinet project. But that was it. Hope you all enjoyed seeing some of the toys, and catch you later.